have a new hobby, which is to try new recipes, display the food beautifully on the plates, and then take photos. There's something so satisfying about it. I have had so much fun, like so much fun, and I'm thinking about taking it up a notch. One of the difficulties is that I have to hold the camera still, and then there's something about the composition that I want to change. Usually when I cook, my hands are not that clean to touch the camera, so I always have to go back and forth between washing my hand and then holding the camera, taking pictures, and then continue cooking. It is a hassle. It's fun, but it's a hassle. And I watched a YouTube video yesterday and learned from this very talented woman who shares tips and tricks and techniques about food photography. And in her video, she uses a professional camera stand that holds her camera, and then she has her hands free for her to play with the food, with the composition, with the props, with all of that. And I think maybe I can do the same thing. But the thing is it's just a new hobby for me. I don't know how long this will last, whether this will be my real hobby or is it just a phase. This happens a lot. So I don't want to spend a ton of money on things that I'm not gonna use in probably a few months. So I try to think hard about using stuff that I already have around the apartment and see if I can turn them into something that gives me the same benefit like a professional camera stand. And yesterday when I was sleeping and tossing and turning in my bed because I was so excited about the new idea, this thought popped up in my mind that hey, I have this drying rack lying around in my apartment for a long time. I use it to dry my sweaters like this one. Once in a while, not once in a while, of course, when I wash my sweaters, and I wash them more than once in a while, believe me. But aside from that, I do not use it for anything else. And I thought to myself, hey, maybe I can use it. So I tried it out, and I'm so happy with the result. Now I'm gonna show how I made it work. So I went to the office to pick up my drying rack. Ta-da! The idea is that if I put this rack next to the table, open the highest wing like this, and circle it so that it's stable, I can put my camera up here, and down here, the food and the props. Now I'm ready to take photos. How brilliant! Haha! Well, can't say until it's implemented, so I'm gonna go and do that. Okay, now this is how my first attempt looks. Basically, it's a direct translation from my imagination into the reality. The rack by the table, above the food, and the camera up here on the highest wing. Yay! Oops, it went blank. But as you can see, now I have my hands free to experiment with different arrangements until I'm happy. And once I am, I just have to press the shutter right here, and voila! I've got a photo! One downside though is that now the rack is standing where I usually do, which is in front of the table. So that means that I will have to stand behind it and stretch my arms over to reach the items. That is inconvenient. So I'm gonna go try and see if I can do any better. After a minor change, I have my final result. I end up switching the rack to the side of the table like this, so that now I can still stand in front of the table like I usually do, while I manage to keep the camera in front of me, easy to reach and easy to see. Let's see if the placement is right. Oops, no more memory, because I have just filmed a video, but you get the idea. Now I can move things around so much more easily. Man, I'm so excited. I cannot wait to test this new setup out. So, of course, I put my phone down and pick my props up. I just grab whatever I have in front of me at the moment to see how it goes. Oh, it goes so well! Now it will just take me a few seconds to try out a different arrangement. Mission accomplished. I mean, even when you have beautiful food on the plate. Sometimes it takes a little bit more to have a nice food photo. That's what I learned. It seems obvious, but it takes some trial and errors for me to actually see that in front of my eyes, and I was like, wow. Here's an example to show you how this first attempt evolved into this final product. Not the best food photo, I know, but as you can imagine, I had so much fun playing with the composition when taking these pictures. When I started, I actually didn't think about anything as fancy as food photography. I just wanted to take a beautiful picture of the food that I made for that day. It looked tasty to me, and I just wanted to celebrate my effort a little bit by taking pictures of it. I try to use the nicest looking plate that I have in the cupboard, and then I have my utensils. So that's how it started. And then I have some tea towels lying around, and I use them to change the backdrop. I have a few ones here, so at least I have like 2, 3, 4 options of backdrops, and they are very versatile. At first, I just use them as backdrops. After looking at some food photos on the internet, I realized that a very common prop that you see in food photos is some cloth. So what I did was to fold my tea towels like this, just let it like pick a little bit from the side of the photos or from the corner of the photos. And at some point, utensils and salt and pepper doesn't create enough dynamics and variation. I throw in some more elements like the nuts that I have around for snacking. I put some nuts into this sauce plate. There, that's all I have. The other day, after I filmed the video clips, I got so excited and energetic. I ended up going to the park near my apartment, and I had a great time watching people walking around happily with their dogs, with their children, and just enjoying the weather and the lovely sunlight that we now have because the spring is coming back. And all of that happened, which is quite unusual to me because usually I would just stay inside and do very indoor activities on a weekend. But all of that happened because earlier I got to talk about something currently excites me. Even just like talking about it or thinking about it gives me so much energy, not just to do the hobby, but also to do other things in life as well. And to me, that is why having hobbies is so important. It gives me this extra boost to jump out of the bed in the morning. It gives me something to look forward to, and it keeps me creative and engaged with life. Creativity to me doesn't have to be artistic, like my makeshift solution for a camera stand the other day. To me, that is also creativity. And still, I'm pretty excited and happy that I came up with that solution. What I really like about hobbies is that I don't have to perform well at them. I still take terrible photos. I suck at taking photos, and I still do. Looking at mouth-wateringly beautiful food photos out there still humbles me, but I put that aside and I'm like, hey, that's another world to me. As long as I have fun taking photos of my food, and as long as I'm happy with my photos, I'm good. And also, there's no pressure for me to stick with it. I'm in a position to fully accept the fact that this may last only a few weeks. It's not my thing. I will never get any better at it. It's fine. I just want to enjoy it while it lasts. As long as I have fun with it, as long as it helps me enjoy my life better and live my everyday a little bit fuller, then I'm in. That is the real thing that matters here behind all of these lengthy story, if you will, about my food photos. A quick note to 40-year-old Hai: if one day you want to take a look back at today and wonder how you are doing now in 2021, I want you to know that you are, like I am, taking very good care of myself I am enjoying my life a lot. And yeah, it's a small life. We want to do something bigger, but for now, we're happy, we're healthy, and I'm just like really grateful for that. So tiếng Anh của mình giờ ẹp và mình cũng đã rất cố gắng nói tiếng Việt, nhưng mà dạo này mình có một thú vui. Dạo này mình có một thú vui mới, đấy là nấu nướng. Dạo này mình có một thú vui mới. When I went to this very cute store, I saw this food. I liked it so much, I bought it. But then it turns out that it's not that, like usable. It's kind of like useless in a sense. And I was disappointed at first, but it looks so cute. So I keep it around, and now it is becoming a valuable item in the kitchen because it makes such a nice prop for my food photos. Even doing this is cute, right?